Hey, thank you for joining me today. So this is my actual first upload. Please go easy on me. I've never edited or uploaded anything to YouTube before, so this is a first. Sorry, I'd actually already started building this build whenever I decided to record it. One of the reasons I decided to record it is because I wanted to do a vaulted ceiling here, which you'll see here in a second. I really like doing this technique. I always like to look at what it looks like from the outside whenever I'm building. One of the things I don't like is I can't add anything to that little space up the top, but one day I am going to figure out how to add something. So this really is just a modern home for a young couple or a bachelor. Just it's something I wanted it to be harbor-esque, but kind of on the river, but not have that lake house vibe. As you can see, I couldn't decide on which windows and doors to use, but I went ahead and I went with something that had a nice little tent to it. I thought that matched the vibe really well of being on the water. I did change the dimensions quite a bit here. I will fix that roof here in a second, as you'll see. I wanted to do, like I said, a modern feel, so I wanted to incorporate stone with wood, kind of just that on the water look and feel. I couldn't decide which siding to use, but eventually I found this really great color. I thought complemented the stone really well. And I feel like I always use gray, but it did go really good here, so I can't complain. There I am just fixing up, cleaning up those pieces. I always like to have things very even in The Sims, so you'll notice I tend to build in even numbers. Very rarely will you see me build in odd squares just because I like everything to fit perfectly. Again, as you can see as I rearrange everything and just kind of count everything. I do get a little OCD just to make sure that everything is on center and that everything looks proportional, because I think that's really important when you're building. So now going back into the interior of the home, I had to play around with this layout a little bit. I knew how I wanted to present the living, entertaining / dining area. I wanted an open kitchen concept, something that would be really fun to like throw a party at. But I also had to make that functional for the rest of the space, because I did have to fit 2 master suites that mirrored each other, as far as a full bathroom, and then also a full-size bed as well. I didn't want to skimp on any of that because, again, I like to build so everything looks beautiful, but also I want everything to be functional as well, because I do play these houses myself, and I hope everyone else plays them as well too. Because, again, that's what I build for, when I have in mind when I'm building, is something that you guys can use whenever you are playing your game and living out different lives. So here I am just cleaning everything up and kind of just getting the outside settled, just so I can get a feeling of what the house looks like and how I want it to feel whenever someone is entering or looking at the home, even from the outside. Especially whenever you're looking from the gallery, it's really important because you just never know what it's going to look like on the outside. So here I am just getting all of those beautiful little details sorted out. Also just doing the pool. Again, I kind of like to do the outside just to get a feeling of what it's going to look like, and that way I can, again, get a feeling of, who the home is, who's going to live there, what their life is like, what the feeling is when they're sitting out by the pool and looking inside their home, at all of their hard work. I know how I would want to feel, so I kind of just build with those things in mind. So one of the many wonderful things that I did not used to use would be the terrain paint tool. I did not realize how much life it gave to my lot until I recently started using it, so you'll see me use that here in a second. Right now, I'm just trying to find the right type of filler for these bushes. Sometimes it can be tricky finding what plants will fit there when you size them. So here I am just finding the right size plants and what I think looks good and also goes with the style of the house. And there I am using the terrain paint, so everything looks nice and beautiful. And then I am just adding a chimney. So one of the things I don't like in The Sims is it used to auto do it in The Sims 3. Whenever you added a fireplace, it would just automatically add the chimney for you. I do like that you can choose the different styles now, but it's just, you'll see here in a second at the end of the video, you'll get a little bit of a blooper of why I get a little bit annoyed with the fireplaces these days. They're not true build mode items anymore, I don't think. Oh, there I am just fixing a little mistake that I made. Took me a second to figure out how to make it work. And then I was trying to make that vaulted ceiling just a little bit further back, but that didn't work. Here I am just adding the puck lights. I do like to remove those, but for now, whenever I'm just building the space, I like to add them, and then that way I can kind of see what I'm doing, what looks good. Here I am trying to figure out that entryway. I really thought about it for a second. I didn't really like any of the choices, so I went on to something else while I thought about it for a second. And again, I just try to get a feeling for the home, add a few things, see how I feel, see what feels right for the space. So you'll see me come to that in a second. I do jump around a little bit, but then I decided on going with this open concept with these rock pillars, which I really liked. And actually, here I am starting in the kitchen. I have to say this is absolutely one of my favorite kitchens I've ever done in The Sims. Something about it just really felt warm and inviting. I felt like I could live there, which I think is the ultimate goal whenever you're playing this game, is just somewhere you would want to live or somewhere you'd want to visit, or somewhere you'd want one of your family members to live, because you know you care about them. So here I am just setting all that up. One of the things I don't like about using those pillars is it can kind of cut off the space a little bit. You'll see here in a second. You're not able to really get anything into that space. Here I am just creating a nice little island. Again, this is for entertainment in mind. So I just thought, you know, cheese and platter and food if you had a party. You know, you could put all that there. For the chairs, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to use. I ended up going with those because I didn't want to do something too overpowering. I actually wanted to do something a little bit fancier for the other entertaining section you'll see here in a second. So I just kind of went simplistic and basic with those bar stools. But here I am just rearranging the cabinets. See here, I am going to try and put something in that space, and it never works, and I don't know why I haven't learned that yet. With those pillars, it has gotten me on a few houses. So there I am trying to add a cabinet. I'm sure I could if I used Control Delete, or not Control Delete, but if I used Move Objects. But I try not to use any cheats whenever I'm playing The Sims, unless I'm building something really specific that requires it. As far as, you know, a technique that just absolutely is a must. So here I am just kind of getting, I think it's all the little clutter that really makes the kitchen. I don't know, what do you think? I think, you know, it's all the little lived in moments that really make it feel real. So I try and add those spice racks, you know, wine racks, you know, cutlery, things like that. I know me personally right now, I have a stack of paper plates on my cabinet. That way I don't have to do too many dishes right now because we are in quarantine. I like to add, again, make sure I have dish racks and just things that I think you would find in a normal home. That way, whenever you're looking at it, you're like, I could see myself living there. That could be my family's home. Really decide on the tables. I did end up going super modern with it just because I wanted to get that element in there, but then I also went, if you look, kind of a little bit rustic on the chairs. So I think that really balances it out. And it keeps that feeling, just to give it that feeling of a homey, yeah, it's still modern. Sorry about the pop-up. So here I am creating the living space. So you see I'll go through a bunch of different fireplaces here. I really wasn't sure how I would feel as far as woodwork would go. Do I want to go modern, or do I want to go, more classic? So I kind of wanted to put the electronics there to see how it looked first. So then I ended up going with this fireplace, which I ended up really liking. But what I didn't like was where this actual was compared to the dining area. So you'll see me switch that around here in a second. There we go. And all is right. Didn't like that love seat there, so I went with something I thought would still be fun for entertaining. So I went with those little fun stools. That coffee table, which I thought I'm getting a little matchy, but I couldn't help myself. Same thing with the wall sconces. Again, I really like to match things in The Sims. I am trying to work on that problem. And here I am working on the rugs in the kitchen. I do appreciate the fact that we can put rugs on top of each other. I do have a hard time deciding with these, like how I want to put them. So let me know in the comments, what do you think, how I should have done that, or what do you do whenever you have those rugs like that? Here I am just creating that entertainment area I had talked about earlier. You'll see I like to keep items that I find in the game that I like for future use in the house, that I think is kind of go with the vibe. And then here I am just making some small adjustments. You'll see me bounce around here and there just because I'll find things that I like and I'll go with it. So I went with that painting. I thought it really went well with the scenery. Very, again, Golden Gate Bridge kind of reminded me of. I don't know why. And then here I am, just the entertainment area. And then I wanted to create a lighting feature. I kind of did this in another home, but it had more neon colors. I don't remember. I don't know if it's in the gallery or not. You'll have to look, but it was another modern house. But you'll see this lighting technique. It can kind of be tricky to get the placement right when you're using these lights to do this. You'll see I was kind of deciding what I wanted to do here. But then I ended up settling on this lighting feature that I've created, and you don't have to move objects for this. It fits perfectly behind the wall. Again, I did this in like another modern house, but I did like neon colors, so it was like a party house on the water. Again, I don't know if that's in the gallery or not. You'll have to check. I don't know if my gallery ID is Plum Suite 30 or Plum Suite Sims. It did transfer over from Sims 3, so I think it's Plum Suite 30. So here I am just kind of seeing, what it looks like from the outside, and then what I want to do here. I do love that rug. I think I use it in every house in some way or another. The one underneath the dining table. And then just upsizing those rugs. And those are the dining chairs I ended up going with. I think they match the couch great. I actually wanted to kind of use them, but then I decided no, use them in the bar area. You'll see I also transfer between night and day and afternoon, just so I can see what the house looks like at different times of day. And there I am just getting rid of those puck lights so I can add more real light to the space instead of that bright look, so you'll get all the shadows. And then here I am deciding on what flooring to use. I think I ended up going with carpet here. I don't think I really cared for it much, but I ended up going with it because I knew I wanted to do hard exclusively in the foyer, so hardwood. And so here I was deciding what actual fun feature activity I wanted to add to this living space, because again, it is for entertaining. So I ended up going with the foosball table. It felt very Bachelor pad to me, which was kind of the vibe I was going for, or like 2 single roommates, or just like a lakeside vacation house, just a bar and a foosball table. You can't go wrong there. So here I am just decorating the foyer and deciding what lights I wanted here, and again, making sure that they're proportional. And you'll see I'm always checking to how things look from the outside looking in, because I think it's really important detail. And then here I am. I feel like I always use these tables because they fit in like the weirdest small spaces, which I really appreciate. So here I am deciding what pictures or what decorations I want here. I don't know why I love using so many wood decorations on the walls. You'll see that's like kind of a common theme throughout my house. I will take advantage of those available to us in The Sims. So here I am. I did want wood for the foyer, but not the same kind that I did for the actual living room. You'll see I went with, you'll see when I'm decorating a little bit later, I really like the one that I went with. It's unique, and I thought it would look really good from the outside. Then here I am just working on the bathroom. Again, thank you for making mats connectable. And here I am. Oh, one of the things I really like to do in The Sims is use those end pieces in bathrooms, just because I think it gives it just like such a more finished look than just a cut off counter. I'll do that unless I have like a toilet or something next to it. But here I had it on the opposite wall, so I went ahead and I went a little bit overboard and I did 2 end pieces. And then the mirror and double sinks. I couldn't decide if I wanted to use those sinks or that sink, so I ended up going with those 2 sinks and just a simple flower. I felt like this was more like the guest bathroom, so that's what I did here. And then again, just adding those little elements that just make it look, you know, lifelike. The hamper, the toilet paper, the cabinets, just all the storage space you would find in a normal home bathroom. Just trying to add some of that charm, and then just adjusting it here so everything looks nice and even and proportional. And then just using that tile. And then here I'm moving to the bedroom. I decided to do the bed on that wall just because I felt like it made more sense, so people weren't staring at you while you were sleeping. Also the sunlight coming in, I thought that was really cool. And then here I am just picking up the bedside tables. I do notice that table is a little bit crooked. I'm gonna go back and actually fix that on the right hand side. That will forever drive me crazy. Here I am just kind of picking the lamps. I did a lot of like normal homey stuff, but also modern elements. You'll see with those lamps. I really like those. And then those chest of drawers. And then I don't know if this is an American thing, but you'll notice just about all of the rooms in my homes have televisions. You know, bedrooms, you know, living rooms, sometimes bathrooms, sometimes kitchens. I'll add them. I don't know if that's an American thing again. We have them a lot in our house personally. Not expensive televisions, just you know, things to like listen or watch YouTube, but usually these days we're on our phones, so we actually took the one out of our kitchen. But here I'm just deciding what I want to do here as far as just the little living elements that make it feel like a home. I'm still not 100% on that green pillow binge, but I went with it. And then I went with a little bit of a lighter carpet. And then moving on to this bedroom. This bedroom, you know, I said the other one had like a guest bathroom feel, but for this one, I did more of like a hotel vibe. And you'll see what I mean here. Whenever I was picking out the side tables, so that's what I'll do here sometimes. I'll use countertops. Now I know I use the same countertops that I did in the kitchen, but I wanted to make sure I didn't use the same color, so you'll see me. And I couldn't really decide on the bed. So here I am just deciding, again, using those end pieces because I love them. I changed them up a little bit because I'm like, oh, do I want to use what was already in there? And then here I am just deciding on the bed. So I wanted, because the counters were so prominent, I needed something with a nice like headboard that really didn't you know, that was like made sure the counters didn't overpower the bed. So there I found it. Yay! I was really happy with that combo. And then I went with the 70s retro vibe, as you can see, including the carpet, which I think is the same carpet I used in the bedroom. I didn't realize that until I was editing this video. So here I am switching out some pieces. I really like this other piece inside the bedroom. I do miss the design tool for moments like this, but I do get really matchy, so it's probably better I don't have it. Again, here I am adding a TV to the bedroom. This time I decided to create a little space, like a little living area space. Again, because this was like a hotel-y kind of vibe room for me. I don't know why. Here I am thinking I'm gonna be really unique, but nope. I'm gonna go ahead and make everything square like I always do. And then here I am just adding the finishing touches that make it, you know, feel like a bedroom. The mirrors, the little accent pieces, a little bit of life, tissue box, and then I added a little Bose radio because, hello, it's a hotel room. Just toiletries, things like that. Again, here I am with my wooden pieces that I love to add to my builds. I don't know why. So here I am just adding those. And you see, I really regret leaving that space above that chair blank. I don't notice it until I'm doing the walkthrough here at the end. And it will forever probably haunt me because I left that space blank and it should not be blank. But I did not forget the space over the TV, of course, you know, because gotta have accent pieces everywhere. So above there I just did, I thought, like a really cool light. It was kind of modern but also kind of retro with the orangey look, so I was really happy with that. And then for the bathroom, I did, again, there I am with those end pieces. I love them. Double sinks. I did one mirror. I really like the way that that looked. I probably will use that. And then, oh, here I am. I discovered that things will fit on the bathtub, which is awesome. I did not know that. I used to be a Sims 3 player, so I just recently transitioned to the Sims 4 within the last couple months. So here I am just adding, again, all the little decorative pieces. I wasn't 100% sold on that rug. I did really like those for the space, but I couldn't figure out to use them, so I was using them over the bathtub, which I really like that look. I also really like the way the shower looks from the outside. It's really, really nice with the rock, so I really like the way that that looked from the outside. And here I couldn't decide what to put over the toilet. I didn't want to add the same thing I added last time. And then I just decided on the flooring. So I went with a light gray and then a light gray wall, which I think with the black pieces and the dark wood pieces, I think it ended up coming out really good. And then here I am deciding, oh, and then I got rid of the bathroom windows because I just didn't like the way it looked from the outside, and that's really important to me. So, I don't know, did I make a mistake there? Oh, and then this flooring that I used here for the concrete, I like it, but it just, the lines don't match up always for me, even though it's like even spaces. I don't know what I did there. And then here I am deciding what kind of outside furniture I wanted to add, you know, how I wanted it positioned. Again, I switch between night and day. I just want to see how everything looks. And then just adding some outside lighting. Again, that's always important just because it makes it feel alive whenever you're actually playing the game. And then you can remember you can always resize and size things up. And then for some reason, yeah, I decided to add these porches to the front and to the back. I don't know if that looks good. I don't know, but I went with it. And again, there's that funky line. And here I am just deciding what plants to add. I couldn't really make up my mind. Do I want it to go modern? So I kind of went with a combination of classic, but also a little bit modern. So I did like the little like water feature reeds. I don't know what those are called, but those always, you know, kind of like vacation-y to me. I live here in Florida, so we really like those here. And then here I am just adding the steps off the patio, and then it left like this weird looking thing here, so I had to put plants there to fix that, but I think it actually ended up looking really good. And then I didn't really do anything to the patios, which I'm kind of regretting, but hey, I was running out of time. It was getting to be a really long build. And here I am just adding the fill plants. You'll see I like to do that a lot just because it always, covering that negative space always makes it look more lived in. So here I am just deciding on those final elements, adding my terrain paint, and then just cleaning that up and just switching out some pieces. I can't remember what I'm going with there. Oh yeah, I went to go with lavender. Yeah, I ended up really liking that actually. I thought I would use that like in a farmhouse or something. A build I have coming up. And then I still wasn't sold on that lawn furniture, so I kind of just moved on. And then came back to it, which I'm doing here. And I really like the pieces that I went with. They're not as dark as the house, but I felt like it was like, again, very vacation-y. Really, I liked it. And I just thought about, friends hanging out around a pool, um, having a party, what that would look like. And here I am. I like to go through the space at the end just to see how everything looks. If you were playing the game and you wanted to look at it from this way, just to see, make sure everything is nice and filled in and there's no big wiping spaces like that yellow wall that will still haunt me and that guest bedroom. So then here I am just pulling out to see the final look through and what it looks like from the outside if I was in the pool, kind of looking in, and then pulling out to see what the space looks like. So again, I really like that vaulted ceiling space. That's what made me do this video. Just, sometimes I discover things and I really like the way that they look. And I'm like, wow, I've never seen that before. Oh, here I am. This is why the fireplace kind of annoys me, is because I switched the fireplace, so I had to move it over to the opposite side. But I almost forgot the chimney, which would have made me really sad. So I hope you liked it. Again, this is my first time, so let me know any feedback. Thank you.